the Constitution of the United States. A document revered, debated, a beacon of freedom. It stands as a testament to the ideals upon which this nation was founded, embodying the principles of liberty, justice, and democracy. But what if I told you it holds secrets? Secrets that have been overlooked, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. Hidden within its amendments, some argue, lie forgotten promises, rights never fully realized. These are the promises that were made but never fully kept. The rights that were granted but never fully exercised. Today we unearth one such mystery, an amendment shrouded in obscurity, yet profoundly relevant to our lives. An amendment that, if fully understood and implemented, could change the course of our history. This is not a tale of conspiracy, but of oversight, of history's tendency to prioritize the loud over the subtle. It's a story of how the most important truths can sometimes be the ones we fail to see. Our journey takes us back to the tumultuous years following the Civil War, a period marked by great upheaval and transformation, a time of reconstruction and deep division. Communities were torn apart, and the nation was struggling to rebuild itself from the ashes of conflict. It is here, amidst the struggle for equality and the fight for a nation's soul, that our forgotten amendment takes root, an amendment that speaks to the very heart of what it means to be free and equal in America. The amendment in question, let's call it the Agrarian Amendment, proposed a radical idea: the right of every citizen to cultivate a portion of land for personal sustenance. This wasn't just about growing food, it was about empowering individuals to take control of their own lives and well-being. The amendment aimed to create a society where everyone had the opportunity to be self-reliant and resilient in the face of economic challenges. Imagine a nation where access to food, the most basic human need, was enshrined in its founding document. This vision was not just a dream, but a tangible goal for many who believed in the power of local food systems. This was the vision of the agrarian movement, a coalition of farmers, laborers, and activists who believed in the power of self-sufficiency and the importance of local food systems. They saw local food production as a way to build stronger, more resilient communities. The amendment, though never ratified, reflects a profound concern for economic justice and individual autonomy. It was a bold statement about the right to live with dignity and the ability to provide for oneself. It sought to ensure that every citizen, regardless of their social standing, had the means to feed themselves and their families. This was a vision of a fairer, more equitable society. This was particularly crucial in a time when industrialization was rapidly changing the landscape of work and access to resources. The amendment aimed to safeguard the basic human right to food amidst these sweeping changes. The Agrarian Amendment faced stiff opposition from powerful industrialists and landowners. They saw it as a threat to their burgeoning empires, a barrier to their vision of a centralized, industrialized nation. The fight for the amendment became a microcosm of the larger struggle between the rights of the individual and the ambitions of the powerful. Ultimately, the amendment failed to garner enough support. The nation, still reeling from the wounds of war and grappling with the challenges of reconstruction, was not ready for such a radical shift in its social contract. The dream of a nation where everyone had the right to grow their own food was deferred, relegated to the margins of history. Section 4. Lost and Forgotten. The story of the Agrarian Amendment is a cautionary tale. It reminds us that even the most fundamental rights can be fragile, susceptible to the shifting tides of political power and social change. The fact that such an amendment, with its emphasis on sustainability and self-reliance, could be proposed and debated speaks volumes about the aspirations of a generation seeking to build a more just and equitable society. But why is this amendment not widely known today? Perhaps it is because its story challenges the dominant narrative of American progress, a narrative that often overlooks the struggles of everyday people fighting for economic justice and environmental sustainability. Section 5. A Seed for the Future. The Agrarian Amendment, though lost to the annals of history, holds important lessons for us today. It was a bold attempt to address the fundamental issues of land ownership and food distribution, aiming to create a more equitable society. In an era of growing food insecurity, environmental degradation, and economic inequality, its message resonates with renewed urgency. The challenges we face today are not new, but the stakes are higher than ever before. It reminds us that access to food is not just a matter of individual responsibility, but a collective responsibility. Communities must come together to ensure that everyone has enough to eat, and that the food we grow is sustainable and healthy. The amendment's legacy lies not in its failure to be ratified, but in the enduring power of its vision, a world where everyone has the right to nourish themselves and their communities. This vision continues to inspire and drive change. It is a vision that continues to inspire activists, farmers, and everyday citizens who are working to create a more just and sustainable food system. Their efforts remind us that change is possible, and that a better future is within our reach.